Hi, I'm Marlee Norr. I'm going to be speaking on global warming. Most people have heard of global warming. Go green, recycle, use alternative energy, blah, blah, blah. You've heard all this before, but maybe you haven't thought about the fact that maybe in this lifetime, myself and my children will be directly affected by global warming. You might be wondering exactly how things now and in the future will be affected by the changing environment. Well, I wouldn't be standing up here if I wasn't going to tell you. Lots of people think global warming is simply Earth's natural way of turning on its heater. Many others think that the warming planet is a result of humanity's carelessness in preserving our wonderful Earth. Did you know Americans trash 700 plastic bottles every second? That's enough to make 2 million fleece sweaters every day. I'm really worried about this, but will my children be worried about the polar bears when they are my age? They might not be, because by that time, all those polar bears could be gone. Where will the fish swim when the oceans are too polluted to live in? Where will birds fly when the skies are poisoned? Think about this. By the time my kids are grown up, those science fiction books and movies about people living in domes under the sea or in outer space might not seem so far-fetched. After all, the ocean water levels are rising, as well as a bunch of other stuff that's happening. Time is of the essence here, people. I'm also thinking about what we, just normal people from Bend, Oregon, can do to help end global warming. For starters, we can learn about global warming itself. Can you believe that every 3 months, Americans throw away enough aluminum to rebuild the entire US air fleet, while actually making the effort to recycle that same aluminum can will save enough energy to operate a TV for 3 whole hours? Wow, painting roofs. We must either be desperate or out of our minds. But wait, what can painting our roofs white do for us? Well, the absence of color can do a lot for our environment. It will keep our houses cooler so we don't have to use our air conditioning so much. And get this, it reflects sunlight. Who knew? So painting our roofs is actually useful. It's easy and it helps the earth. And it's not going to require huge amounts of funding and cost everyone billions and billions of dollars. Recycling. A simple word and a simple concept. Throwing a bottle or a can into a bin, how hard can it be? There are loads of things that people have done with recycling. Someone built a boat. Someone built a floating island. Both unique things that came of someone tossing something recyclable into a plastic bin. Some monks even built an entire temple out of old beer bottles. Talk about motivation. I'm not saying we have to do things as amazing as that, but if we recycled things, who knows what else people can make? I think most of you have heard of the Kyoto Protocol. As of January 2009, 183 nations have ratified the protocol. Under Kyoto, industrialized countries and nations agreed to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions by 5.6% compared to the year 1990. And guess who hasn't ratified the treaty? Us, the United States of America. What I'm wondering is, why can't we be the ones leading the world against global warming? What can people do? I asked this question earlier. Well, I didn't answer it all the way. Up there are a bunch of things you can do. I like the riding bikes one because in Bend, we are already carrying that one out. Lots of people ride bikes already in Oregon. Also, I remember when my family turned off all our lights and appliances for 1 hour one night. We used candles for lighting, and it was a very unique experience to see how people in the days without electricity lived. They survived, and the earth could be a better place if we were able to survive 1 short hour without the TV blaring or without playing our Xbox. What is the government doing? The governments of many countries are making a post-Kyoto climate agreement for 2012 and beyond. Our government is suggesting that we paint our roofs white to reflect the sun back into space, as shown in an earlier slide. And best of all, the government is starting to take notice. I asked some people I knew, like my grandparents, my parents, myself, and even my dog, what they thought of global warming. I like my dad's quote saying that global warming is people-made and people needs to stop it. I believe that's true. Thanks, Dad. That slide was my mom's idea. Thanks, Mom. However, the slide really tells you something, doesn't it? Animals are becoming extinct in my lifetime. Water levels are rising as much as 20 feet. The edges of America and other countries could be wiped off the map. No more beach houses. That would stink, wouldn't it? I'm kind of running out of time, but before I get off the stage, I'd like to thank my mom, dad, sister, and friends for loving and putting up with me, my huge library at home for providing me with info, and James Patterson for writing the most awesome book ever about global warming, and everyone here for coming and listening. So many people are already working together to think of things like wind power, using water for energy, biofuel, and huge amounts of other awesome stuff. People are taking care of our planet in ways that nobody could have ever thought possible. But in order to save the world, everybody needs to help. You don't have to be famous or someone important to help deal with the changing climate. I want to encourage everyone here to help care for our precious, beautiful Earth, the only Earth we have, if only in some small way. It will make a difference. I will now quote my favorite book, The Final Warning by James Patterson. I'm just a kid, but if I can think of all this, why can't we all? Will you wait until the water's lapping at your feet?